We'll try and we'll just see how it goes.
Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome to Pigknit. If you're not familiar with my channel, nice to meet you. My name is Jessie. I'm here with my husband Justin.
Hello.
Because we're talking about video games because I'm doing a video about video games.
This is true.
Yeah.
These are all true things.
And video games in the 90s when we grew up, there wasn't a lot of video games where you sat by yourself and did them by yourself. It was like kind of everybody, you sit.
Well, it's because you died so often and you trade out and there's a few
played them together. I feel like there's just more video games now that are like meant to be one person by themselves for a long.
Well, there's no on couch multiplayer anymore. It's all online.
Just sad.
Yeah, it is sad. I was just saying that because we were talking about the new Zelda at work, and I was saying they need to make a RPG that's similar to like Zelda or Fallout, but you can play couch co-op. Not even like you play the game doing the same missions, that you're just in the world on the couch hanging out, so you can be in two different areas of the town, not really doing anything but like chit-chatting. So you could be playing a video game, but in the same room.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like sometimes you could help each other out, but you could go on other missions.
Yeah. Be like if you're in the same house, like in the same town in Animal Crossing, but you weren't doing the same stuff. You know what I mean? But you were still on each other's couch in your living room, rather than in two different completely locations, not communicating to each other at all.
So we were both born in 1989, so we grew up with...
Like, I'm actually surprised you guys had a Nintendo.
We had a lot of systems.
Because the Nintendo's older than we are.
Because I think we had an Atari.
Do you call it a NES, by the way? I was going to bring that up.
A what?
A NES, an NES.
No.
You just call it a Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people call it a NES. Weird,
fun.
Right? Forever.
Do you guys
It's kind of like soda and pop.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody here call it a NES instead of Nintendo? As in like Nintendo Entertainment System?
And then instead of calling it
I've never heard of that before.
Super Nintendo, you call it a SNES.
No.
I'm dead serious.
Maybe that's a Pennsylvania thing.
No, it's not from PA. It's from Jack and Rich.
Oh.
Prereq.
Okay. I don't know. Well,
and they're older than we are,
let us
they know.
Oh, maybe it's an older thing.
Maybe like people that actually...
People in their 40s and stuff say.
So we have a box of Jesse's old...
Yeah, I decided that it might be... Maybe it'd be a good idea to dig up some old games. So I grabbed my box of NES games from our attic at our other house. And we're going to look through them and kind of take a walk down memory lane. So I know that the most recent Zelda game came out just this past Friday. Or I guess a week ago. But I got it because I've never played, and neither has Justin, we've never played a Zelda game before.
Not a single one.
So when I first did this video, like the characters that I chose based off of games that I've played and games that I liked.
And some that you just picked because they're popular, like Zelda.
Well, when I first did it, I was like, I really should do Zelda because it's such a classic, like drawing Link would be such a classic character, but I'd never played Zelda before, so I feel like I shouldn't, But now that I'm playing it, I feel like I'm allowed to. And that's why I don't have any Metroid Prime stuff, because I've never played it before.
I've never played the Metroids either.
Yeah, so that's, I picked a couple characters that maybe some people aren't familiar with or haven't seen.
Excitebike.
Everyone knows Excitebike.
Nobody knows Excitebike.
Yes, they do.
No.
You're saying it wrong.
Excite.
There you go.
Bike.
Yeah. Well, Parappa the Rapper, though.
I don't know. That's like an indie hit, right? Didn't like people know that?
I don't know.
It's kind of like the first Guitar Hero. Everybody's like, "What's that weird game?
PlayStation.
What a strange idea! Whoa!" And then it becomes the most popular thing ever.
So,
except Parappa the Rapper never got popular.
Yeah, it got really popular. At the end of this video, let me know in the comment section if you are familiar with every character that I've drawn. If you recognized everybody. What was I gonna say else?
Oh. Let's look through your box.
So, pardon the noises. Oh, one thing I also want to mention too. One thing I remember about old school Nintendo, the music was
fun.
The music was like better than modern games, in my opinion. I thought it would be really easy to find music for this video. Like I wanted to find some video game type music, but I'm not really sure what like the laws are of like copyright, yada yada yada.
I feel like the cover of Trojan here is a big lie. I bet this game sucks, but it looks super cool.
Ooh, I remember Trojan.
Was it super cool? Because the cover looks cool. I don't know. Like
if it's
seems like it's a lie.
it's the one I'm thinking of, Let me look up a screenshot of it, actually.
Googling.
I feel like it's going to be bad to Google the word Trojan.
Trojan NES video game.
Trojan video game. Hello, computer. If I remember correctly. Yes. Okay. Trojan. I used to play all of my games. Like, I'd play it with my brother because he was, like, really into gaming. And Trojan, you could play together, so you'd walk along together. And I remember it was one of those games where we only ever got to a certain level and we never got past it. And no matter how many times we tried, we never got past it. So, but it was pretty fun. It was just, you just kind of walk around and swat at things. And I feel like I have some games that are really weird. I was tempted to do characters from video games that I was only familiar with. I feel like with old school Nintendo games and like older games, you had a really weird mix of games. There would be games that like no one's ever heard of. And one of them
Dudes with Attitude.
was Dudes with Attitude. And I was like, maybe I'll draw a character from Dudes with Attitude. But then I realized I would just straight up be drawing a smiley face. So it's like, I'm not going to bother with that.
I think because they made so many games. Like, they were so simple to make that you could go to the store and see 50, 60 titles that you've never even heard of before.
Have you guys ever played Dudes with Attitude? This game sounds familiar.
What's it called?
King's Knight.
According to the cover, there's a wizard chasing you.
Oh yeah, look at the screenshots from this one.
It looks like Pokemon.
It was like a scrolling screen and you just walked and like carved away at this. There's a lot of games where it was just like an endless scrolling screen and you just carved away at things.
Super Mario Bros. 3.
Ah yes, listen to this. This is our game cartridge when you shake it.
Does it still work?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever played Super Mario Bros. 2?
Yeah, that's the weird one where Peach can fly and Luigi has the super long jump.
I've never played it before.
You've never played it?
Nope.
It's not great.
Okay, speaking of good soundtracks, Thundercade. I'm going to link in the description a video that has Thundercade soundtrack because this is the one that was my favorite. I really like Mega Man's too, but Thundercade had the most fantastic... Every time I try to talk, Luna whines and interrupts me. Thundercade had the most amazing soundtrack. It was my favorite. I used to just play it and sing along, and it was basically just this game where you riding on a motorcycle and you're just going on this endless scrolling screen and shooting at things, and we only ever made it past like level 3. Oh, also Wizards and Warriors, another great soundtrack. When you were like injured and you were dying, the music was just beautiful.
We played that together.
Yeah.
Because I remember it had the weird trees that you could go up and down and out of and stuff. You do have the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Yeah, I realized we recently played Ninja Turtles, and I realized I was better at it when I was 3 than I am now, and I feel like that's the same for a lot of people.
Fun fact for all you youngins, the original Ninja Turtles?
The original Ninja?
The original Ninja Turtles? They all wore red masks. You could only tell them apart from their weapons.
Really?
Yes.
Who is your favorite?
Probably either Leo or Raphael.
I remember in the game I was always one of them though, and I think it was Michelangelo. I remember
He had the nunchucks.
my brother was Donatello because he had the long stick and it came really...
He's the smart one.
The long stick came in handy.
There it is. Excite. Bike, bike, bike. He looks naked. Is he riding in the nude with a helmet on? Or I'll say I'm glad you didn't draw him as a pixely piece of poop.
I thought about it. I originally was gonna do just old school Nintendo characters, and then I wanted to include like Crash Bandicoot. Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot's awesome.
I kind of like did the Mario characters. I know they can be all umbrellaed under Super Mario Brothers in a sense.
Who, Donkey Kong?
Yeah, you know how it's like Donkey Kong is included in, but since he has his own game, I almost did Yoshi because of Yoshi's Island because I really liked that game, but I really had a hard time drawing him because I was like originally like I wasn't gonna go past a certain gaming system and then
the Animal Crossing thing has a name.
Yeah,
I've never played
he owns
the
a store.
Crossing.
Tom Nook, he's very important. Who remembers Dreamcast?
Nobody. Nobody remembers the Dreamcast.
Did you guys
like
have a
once I played that Sonic game that was horrible on the Dreamcast and killed it?
Remember that you could take the memory card and put it in the controller and there was like a little screen?
That was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
that
it was like, whoa.
That controller was enormous. It was
yeah,
like,
I know. It was a big beefcake.
It was like playing with the Wii U controller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can I mention that about Zelda? So I'm playing on the Wii U because we don't have a Switch. I almost called it a Twitch. I
don't have a Twitch.
I don't have the Twitch.
The Nintendo Twitch.
I don't know if I'm just rusty, but I'm finding it uncomfortable to use that controller. There's something about the right analog feels weird to me.
I think you are rusty. I'll say that.
I'm rusty, but the right trigger is to throw your weapon. So I've had times when I'm like fighting someone and I'll hit the right trigger by accident and I'll just like chuck my sword into the bushes.
Do you use the bumpers?
Yeah, you use like there's a lot of buttons. And I feel like an old person.
In case you forget,
there's so many buttons.
Be kind and rewind. You dudes with attitude.
I don't know. Yeah, in the back.
Your dad must have picked it up at a movie rental place.
Dudes with attitude.
But I don't know why they would put that sticker on a video game.
We put a lot of time into dudes with attitude. Okay, what are your favorite games?
Like of all time?
Yeah.
What
games do you think you've clocked the most hours in?
Oh man, clocking the most hours in would be the Grand Theft Autos and the Fallouts.
Mine is definitely The Sims and Animal Crossing. I've been on the search for a game that's a cross between The Sims and Animal Crossing. Like, somebody needs to come out with a new one. Well, let us know in the comment section below. Number 1, did you recognize all of these characters?
Number 2, what is your favorite video game and/or video game that you've logged the longest?
What game have you played the longest of? Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let us know which game is your favorite of all time, your favorite video game. You can give me a top 3 if you have a lot.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts. That's another one that I liked a lot.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey guys, this is Jessie just popping in a couple of days later because I realized that when I was finishing up this video, this last character, the coloring for it disappeared and I didn't realize until after I had already rendered the video. I just wanted to make a couple of points. One, I realized after I did this that I should have did Pikmin because that was like a game that I really liked when I was growing up. So I'm kicking myself for not doing Pikmin, but there's always other chances because maybe I'll do another one of these. Did you like this one? Let me know. I'm already thinking, I think I'd like to do one about Animal Crossing specifically. And then, I don't know, maybe one about Super Mario Brothers specifically. I also want to apologize for the light flickering like crazy throughout this video because I was at a battle with the weather this whole week. It's been crazy in Buffalo. When the video is sped up, it makes it look like insanely flashy, so I really apologize for that. Hoping to find some more solutions to that problem in the future, but thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next week.